In my last video, I showed you how to memorize anything 5 times faster using just 4 steps, and I even dropped a cheat code to remember anything you forgot. But one step sparked an explosion in the comments. The handmade mind map. Everyone was asking, how do I make one that actually works? Well, today's the day. I'm breaking it all down. Now, everyone tells you that to make a mind map, you just need a main topic, then start adding branches. Easy, right? But no one talks about the real conceptual problems you face once you actually sit down to do it. In this video, I'm sharing the exact struggles I ran into when I first started, so you don't have to. We'll kick off with Problem 1. How do you choose the right sub-branch? I'll give you 3 killer strategies, real-world example, and exactly when to use each strategy. Then, we'll fix how to choose the right keywords with 2 hacks to make your map sharp and searchable. And if your mind map looks like a plate of spaghetti, don't panic. I've got quick tricks to clean it up. And finally, I'll show you the test to know if your mind map is finished or still missing something. Let's turn that messy sketch into a memory superpower. Let's go. Problem 1. How do I choose the right sub-branches? Let's solve this with 3 smart strategies, starting with one of the most effective. Strategy 1. Ask what, why, how. This isn't just a brainstorming trick. It's a neuroscience-backed framework that mirrors how your brain naturally learns. First, asking what defines the concept clearly, which helps build a strong foundation in your memory. Then, asking why creates emotional relevance and activates dopamine, improving both focus and retention. Finally, asking how engages executive function, pushing you to turn knowledge into action. So you're not just memorizing, you're understanding and applying. Let's break it down with a real example. Time management is a crucial life skill that determines how effectively we use the limited hours in our day. It involves planning, prioritizing, and organizing tasks to make the most of our time while reducing stress and avoiding burnout. In a world full of distractions and endless to-do lists, mastering time management helps us stay focused on what truly matters, leading to better productivity, improved mental health, and a greater sense of control over our lives. Now let's turn that into a mind map. Main topic: time management. What? Effectively using the limited hours in a day. How? Planning, prioritizing, and organizing tasks. Why? Reduces stress, avoids burnout, boosts productivity, and improves mental health. You can use this strategy on all kinds of paragraph structures. Expository, to clarify complex ideas. Analytical, to explain problems and solutions. Persuasive, to make your case with logic. Informative, to keep details clear and useful. Reflective, to plan and evaluate. Instructional, to give clear step-by-step guidance. This method keeps your thinking layered and your map super organized. Ready for the next strategy? Let's go. Strategy 2. Use the 5 whys technique. The 5 whys method isn't just for business meetings or manufacturing problems. It's a powerful tool for your mind map, too. Based on root cause analysis theory, this technique helps you dig deep into a problem by simply asking why 5 times in a row. Each answer leads to the next, peeling back layers of confusion until you hit the real cause. It's science-backed, and it's especially useful when you're feeling stuck, confused, or unsure where your thinking should go next. This strategy works great for analytical writing, to uncover deeper problems, reflective writing, to understand your own habits, problem-solving tasks, to find the real reason something isn't working, and even instructional pieces, to explain how to fix or improve something. Let's see how it works in action with an example. Procrastination is a common behavior where we delay tasks despite knowing they're important. Often this happens because the tasks appear too large or overwhelming, making it hard to even know where to begin. When tasks are broken down into smaller, more manageable steps, they become less intimidating and easier to tackle. However, procrastination can also stem from not planning ahead or prioritizing tasks, which leads to a lack of focus and organization. Without a clear plan or goals, it becomes challenging to start and maintain progress. Let's map that out using the 5 whys technique. Why do I procrastinate? Because the tasks seem too large or overwhelming. Why do they seem overwhelming? Because I don't know where to begin. Why don't I know where to begin? Because I haven't broken the tasks down. Why haven't I broken them down? Because I didn't plan or prioritize. Why didn't I plan or prioritize? Because I didn't set clear goals or structure beforehand. By following this simple technique visually on your mind map, you transform a vague idea like, I procrastinate, into a clear chain of causes. And from there, it's much easier to build your sub-branches with purpose and clarity. Ready for Strategy 3? Let's go. Strategy 3. Group by categories. Sometimes your mind map doesn't need deep analysis. It just needs structure. That's where group by categories comes in. This technique helps you organize your sub-branches by logical groupings like types, steps, causes, effects, or examples. It gives your map a clear shape and makes complex ideas easier to digest. Instead of letting everything sit on the same level, you cluster similar ideas together, creating instant clarity. Here's how it works in action with an example. Starting is a powerful trigger for progress, yet it's often the hardest part. Many people delay because they overthink or feel unprepared, but taking a small first step can break that cycle. Simple actions like writing one sentence or setting a timer can build momentum. Whether it's forming a habit or starting a project, the key is to begin. Action brings clarity and confidence. Let's break that down into categories. Causes: overthinking, feeling unprepared. Actions: take a small step to break the cycle. Examples of action: write one sentence, set a timer. This strategy works great for informative writing, where clarity is key, instructional tasks, where steps and actions matter, analytical work, when showing different causes or effects, even persuasive writing, by clearly grouping reasons or examples to strengthen your argument. By grouping related ideas, your mind map becomes less chaotic and way easier to expand later. You're not just mapping ideas, you're building a clear system your brain can follow. Now that you've got 3 strategies in your toolkit, let's move to the next mind map problem: how to pick the right keywords. Problem 2. How do I pick good keywords, not full sentences? When building a mind map, cluttered phrases slow you down. Step 1 is to ask yourself, what would I Google to find this idea? This simple question taps into how your brain naturally searches for information, using semantic memory and retrieval cues. Just like typing into a search bar, your brain works best with short, sharp terms. Step 2. Use action words over plain nouns. Verbs like start, plan, or build fire up more areas of the brain because they activate both episodic and procedural memory systems. This makes your mind map feel alive, easier to understand, easier to remember, and way easier to expand. Forget full sentences. Think like a search engine and write like you're building momentum. After refining your keywords, the next challenge most people face is structure. That brings us to problem 3. My mind map looks messy. How do I organize it? If your mind map looks more like a tangle of wires than a clear visual, here are 3 simple hacks to bring order to the chaos. First, stick to the 5 to 7 rule. Limit each node to no more than 5 to 7 sub-branches. If you find yourself with more, group them into logical categories. For instance, instead of listing 10 types of energy, combine them under broader labels like renewable, solar, wind, and non-renewable, coal, oil. Second, make color work for you, not just for aesthetics. Assign each color a purpose: blue for causes, red for effects, green for actions. Avoid random coloring, which only adds cognitive noise. Third, cross-link sparingly. Only connect different parts of the map if the relationship adds real clarity. One well-placed arrow with a label like leads to or reduces is powerful. 10 messy lines? Not so much. Structure brings clarity, and clarity boosts memory. Now that your map is clean and organized, there's one final question left. Problem 4. How do I know if my mind map is finished, or should I add more details? Here's a simple test. Hide the original text you used to build your map, and try to explain the entire topic using only your mind map. If you stumble, forget something, or can't clearly connect 2 ideas, that's your cue. You're not done yet. Add the missing pieces. Maybe it's a key sub-branch, a supporting example, or even an arrow linking two related ideas. Your goal is clarity and recall. When your map can stand alone as a teaching tool, no notes, no help, that's when you know it's complete. Remember, maps aren't about pretty drawing. They're about forcing your brain to see relationships. Keep it messy at first, then clean up as you learn.